Keith Taylor, Green MEP for the South East. A very large, extensive report on the state of the environment. One aspect it includes is about coastal water, and when you look at the map, it's not good for the South East of England. The pollution levels seem very high in a great number of cases. What's your reaction?
Well, I'm completely horrified. I'm not really that surprised, actually, because for years now, for decades, the sea has been used as a resource that could be taken from and not sufficiently cared for.
By having this on a Europe-wide map, does it kind of flag up, does it kind of put into colour really how extensive the problem is when it comes to coastal pollution? And do you hope that something will come out of it? Are there improvements in the offing that will benefit the South East?
Well, I certainly think that actually it throws into harsh spotlight the government's assurances that, you know, the environment is safe in their hands. Evidently, on any measure, when compared to our European partners, the environment is not safe in the government's hands, and we cannot carry on taking as many fish as we do, taking minerals, laying pipelines, and doing damaging fishing activities without there being an effect. And I really hope, as a result of this report, that the government takes heed and actually starts putting into practice some of the good housekeeping measures which are being taken up by our fellow colleagues in the European Union.
Do you think this in some way might chain the government into action? Because it does show very clearly, as you just mentioned there, that some other countries in Europe are doing rather better, considerably better, compared to the South East.
Well, sometimes I begin to think the government has no shame, but certainly as a political issue, you would have thought that even they would recognise that actually they cannot carry on taking and not giving to our marine environment because it is leading, look at the amount of litter we put in the sea, the amount of fossil fuels that we try and extract. It can't continue without a continuingly bad effect. And I'm hoping that the people of Britain will turn around and say, well, hang on a minute, we want to have clean water in our coast because it is better for the environment, it's better for the things that live in the environment, and why can't we have it?
Looking at the map of Europe, the areas that seem to fare worst are coastal regions where there's a lot of shipping, like the southeast of England. Is there a balance to be struck between more environmental measures, which may well be on the way, and looking after that industry, given that it is very important for the economy of a region like the southeast?
I think the important thing for the southeast is to get an environment that actually enables future growth, enables development. The way we're going, that's not happening. It's not only shipping, which is projected to increase, it's also the runoff from nutrients from agriculture that actually get into the water and lead to acidification. We can't have it all ways. We have got to act as if we intend staying on the planet, not as if we're just here for the weekend.
Just finally, looking at the report as a whole, they flag up a number of areas where they say there's a great deal of action that would be needed if we're to meet the kind of aspiration of by 2050 living within our means. From your point of view, does that sum up what you're trying to perhaps achieve? And how much further would you like to go in order to get to that situation? Is there a lot more that needs to be done in order to get to that situation?
Well, of course, Greens will always be saying that is not enough. We need more progress. We've got to behave more sustainably. We've got to improve things. And I think that's no bad thing because there is no second planet. We haven't got something in reserve. We've only got one planet, and we need to look after it. And that's the thrust, the whole direction of the green movement in the UK and in Europe.